I am at Narita Airport in Japan and will be heading to Taipei. I had checked in online, but for some reason I still had to go to the counter. Salad for lunch at the airport. It was good. I bought water from a vending machine. At immigration, I handed over my passport and was not asked any questions as I had registered online beforehand. As for customs, I had nothing to declare, so I went through the no declaration counter. First of all, what should I do? I bought a drink from a vending machine. The reason I did this was to check whether I could use my credit card or if there were any restrictions on usage. I was able to buy it normally. I bought a carbonated drink called Haesong Shashi. Next, I was immediately unsuccessful in a campaign to win 5,000 Taiwanese dollars, so I went to an ATM at a bank and exchanged 10,000 yen for Taiwanese dollars. Now I'm going to hop on the train and head to Taipei. Before that, I tried to buy something called an Easy Card at the ticket machine, but it seems they don't give change. I only had a 1,000 yuan note and wanted to deposit 500 yuan, so I bought one at a nearby kiosk. I didn't realize it at the time, but this isn't an Easy Card. It's actually an iPass card. Why did I buy it by mistake? I had bought a transportation card, but the Taoyuan MRT I was about to board accepted credit cards. So I tapped my smartphone to pass through the ticket gate. There seemed to be no restrictions on use here either. I got on the train. Eating and drinking were prohibited. I hadn't yet drunk the Heisan Shashi I had bought earlier. I'd like to enjoy the view from the train window for a while. There's a lot of land near the airport. Apartments are being built here. Soon, a fairly urban area appears, but we are not yet in Taipei City. The trees in the forest look like a different species to those in Japan. They look kind of fluffy. I've arrived at Taipei Main Station. The hotel I'm staying at is close to the station, so I'd like to walk there. I've been checking the route on Google Maps, but there aren't many people around anymore. And lo and behold, I can't go any further. Facing such difficulties so early on, it seems that travel is not always easy. I returned to the underground station and wandered around until I found a map. It appears that there is a large underground shopping mall around Taipei Station. However, this underground passage is not shown on Google Maps. So when I tried to get there by road above ground, it was actually closed. So I decided to travel through the underground shopping mall. The hotel has a different name, but this is probably the one. It seems best to get there from the Z4 exit. I went up the stairs at Z4 and found myself right in front of Mitsukoshi. The blue building in the background is the hotel where I'll be staying. The Blue by Just Inn. The reception desk on the first floor of the building was small, so I wondered if it was really a hotel, but I was able to check in. I paid with a credit card on site, and there were no restrictions on use here either. Now let's go into the room. It's quite neat and tidy. Unfortunately, it was a windowless room, but the space and lighting were just the right size, and it looked comfortable. There is a lighted mirror above the sink, and to the left of it is the shower, and to the right is the toilet. The shower here has a display that shows the water temperature and how long it has been running for. So you'll know when you've been showering for 10 minutes, for example. There is a large trash can in the toilet, and as explained at the front desk, this is where you throw used toilet paper. Is this the hotel's mascot? Water, snacks, tea, etc. are provided and replenished daily. The pot is quite large. Now, after drinking the Heisan Shashi I bought at the airport, I'd like to take a walk around the area and go for dinner. I had dinner at a restaurant-like place in the underground mall at Taipei Station. The food was good with a subtle aroma of star anise and coriander. This is my after-meal drink. I bought something like a mixed juice. It was good. I tried to use the Easy Card I bought at the airport, but it didn't work, and I realized it was actually an iPass. This is a snack sold at a shopping mall connected to the underground mall at Taipei Station. It's quite large. It was chewy and very delicious. This concludes our first day in Taipei. It's the morning of the second day. I bought a coffee at a coffee shop near the hotel. It was a milk coffee. It was okay. There seemed to be specialty coffee on the menu, but I didn't notice it. Now, on the second day of my Taipei trip, I'll start sightseeing. First, I'll head to the National Palace Museum. To get there, I'll take the Tamsui Xinyi line of the subway from Taipei Station. We've arrived at Shilin Station. Now, in front of the station we're greeted by Cabbage Head. No, Xiaofei. She tells us which bus to take. In terms of locations on the map, Taipei Station is here, Shilin Station is here, and the National Palace Museum is here. For reference, Taipei 101 is located here. We traveled by bus and arrived at the National Palace Museum. It has the feel of a palace in the mountains. Let's go inside. It seems that the exhibits are packed from the first to third floors, but I'll try my best to look around. Jade Cabbage was away on a business trip to Southern Branch. But there was meat. I had lunch at a restaurant inside the museum. I had a set meal including braised pork rice, coffee, and pineapple cake for dessert. Everything was pretty tasty. By the way, when I went to pay, my credit card fraud detection went off and I couldn't pay at first. I received a notification by email and was able to fix it, and it worked. The tour ended with an audience with Sun Yat-sen. The exhibition was very comprehensive, but I managed to see everything. I can't say I was able to take my time looking at everything, though. By the way, why are cultural artifacts from the former Chinese imperial court in Taiwan? According to the official website, it is due to connections, while the English page says, due to the history of the Kuomintang and the Communist Party, so it seems likely that they were brought here when the Kuomintang moved to Taiwan. The article also describes the movement of the cultural artifacts, so to give a brief overview, the Palace Museum opened in Beijing in 1924, but the artifacts were moved to Shanghai in 1933 to protect them from Japanese invasion. They were then moved to a storage facility built in Nanjing in 1936. When the Sino-Japanese War broke out in 1937, the cultural artifacts were moved to Sichuan. After the war ended, they were returned to Nanjing in 1947, but with the Communist Party gaining the upper hand, they were transferred to Taiwan in 1949. By the way, I bought these items at the gift shop. I went back to Shilin Station and had a Dao Hua. The taste was not great. Next, we head to 228 Peace Memorial Park. First, return to Taipei Main Station and walk towards the south side of the station to find this urban park. For reference, the Chiang Kai-shek Memorial Hall is here. If you enter the park from the north, you will find the National Taiwan Museum. If you pass by it and head south, you will come across a covered rest area in the style of traditional Chinese architecture. There is a memorial monument in the center. This park was built during the Japanese colonial period, but was renamed the 228 Peace Memorial Park in 1996, after the February 28th incident in 1947, which began with the occupation of a radio station facility within the park. There is a 228 Memorial Hall where the radio station used to be, so I went to check it out, but it was closed. It seems to have been closed for a while. However, when I looked more closely at the sign, I saw that it was an image translated into Japanese, so it was hard to understand, and I didn't know this, but the year actually said 112, not 2020, which is in the Republic of China calendar rather than the Gregorian calendar, which corresponds to 2023. And the part that said 2014 is actually written as 114, which corresponds to 2025. In other words, it has been closed for about 2 years until this month. But when I looked at the website, I saw that it would reopen this week on February 28th. And since I will still be in Taipei on that day, I decided to come back later. What's more, I didn't know that February 28th was a national holiday called Peace Memorial Day. Since it's a Friday, it looks like it will be a 3-day weekend. I bought a pepper bun on the street corner. It was so hot I can't remember what it tasted like, but I think it was good. In the evening, I went to Ximen, a busy shopping area with many modern shops and many people. There was a crowded area, so I tried some rice flour noodle-like food. You eat it standing up. The filling was like some kind of animal innards, and it was pretty tasty. I thought I'd have some chicken. I think it's a chain restaurant that you often see in Taipei, but it was busy and I had to wait quite a while. It was a big piece of fried chicken. The taste was a bit disappointing. Day 2 is over. Good morning. The third day of my Taipei trip began. Let's have some morning coffee. I had some hand-dripped coffee at a cafe near the hotel. It was nice. There were no customers yet, so it was comfortable. Now this is in front of the presidential office building. The building has an unusual design, but it was built over 100 years ago. I didn't go inside, but it seems you can enter on weekday mornings. Here is the location on the map. Directly in front of the presidential office building, there is a roundabout-like intersection with a tiled roof building inside it, which appears to be a gate in the former city walls. The original city walls were built by the Qing dynasty in 1884 to defend against countries like Japan, but in 1895 Taiwan itself was ceded to Japan, after which the city walls were destroyed and only the gate remains. After walking a little, the gate of the Chiang Kai-shek Memorial Hall came into view. It's a very large gate. Going through it, you'll come to a vast plaza. Here is the location on the map. There's a big building in the back. Let's go and check it out. Now, the reason why I'm looking at the garden is because I was planning to go to the restroom, so I went here but couldn't find it. So I came all the way over here and ended up passing by the pond. I sometimes see this pink flowering tree, but I wonder if it's a cherry blossom? There are 2 lions in front of the stairs of the memorial hall. They are ornaments meant to ward off evil spirits and bad luck. The male is placed on the right and the female on the left, apparently to represent the yin and yang relationship. Let's go up the stairs. There we find Chiang Kai-shek, Taiwan's first president, enshrined. Perhaps because there are no hostile forces in Taiwan, he looks satisfied. It seems there are facilities below this building, so I'll take a look. When I went to the first floor, I found a space like this. There was a tea shop, so I bought milk tea with taro balls. Compared to tapioca, the taro balls seem to have a slightly rougher surface. There was an exhibition like this, but who exactly was the dictator? For more information about this exhibit, The Road to Freedom of Speech, check out the official website. Next to it is an exhibit about dictators know the first Führer. There are 2 Cadillacs. Photos from the Xinhai Revolution and the Cairo Conference. There are many other exhibits as well. This is the Führer's office, which has been recreated with precise measurements. In addition to exhibits related to the president, there are also various other exhibits here, such as this one which represents the shape of the island of Taiwan. By the way, the Chiang Kai-shek Memorial Hall was once renamed the Taiwan Democracy Memorial Hall, but then changed back to its original name. Next, let's head to Taipei 101. Take the Tamsui Xinyi subway line from Chiang Kai-shek Memorial Hall Station. 5 stops away, and you'll arrive in front of the very tall building. Here is the location on the map. Let's start with lunch, Din Tai Fung. You wait in line at the counter, but you can choose your order on your smartphone while you wait. I think I waited about 20 minutes. I ordered xiaolongbao, dumplings, steamed buns with shiitake mushrooms, and dessert. Everything was white and looked similar. I think the steamed buns were the best. The matcha cake-like dessert was quite large, so I felt like I ate a bit too much. Overall, I'd say the food was refined. I always have coffee after lunch, so I had a pour-over coffee at the cafe inside 101. The taste was okay. Let's go up to the observation deck. We pass through the luxury floors and head to the 89th floor. Unfortunately, it was cloudy that day, so wasn't very clear. There are plenty of photo spots on the floor. Regarding the building's design, the official website states, "The most difficult aspect of designing a representative skyscraper is not the architectural technique, but the cultural expression, balancing local and international cultures and finding the most appropriate, unique form and symbolic meaning. And they've succeeded brilliantly." I walked around the surrounding area. There were skyscrapers and shopping malls lined up. I had daohua at the food court in Mitsukoshi. It was a simple dish, with only tofu, red beans, and peanuts as ingredients. It was supposed to also contain sweet potato dumpling, but there weren't any. I walked to the Taipei Dome. There were no games or events today, so there weren't many people there. The underground space is connected to the underground mall and the station. Here is the location on the map. To the north of Taipei Dome is the Songshan Cultural and Creative Park. It's a facility that reused a former factory. It creates a nice contrast with the new dome. I had it for dinner. It was a set meal-like meal at the food court in Mitsukoshi in front of Taipei Station. It was just as tasty as usual. There were a bunch of gashapon machines lined up around where I sat, most of which had products made in Japan, but there was one right next to me that looked like it was made in Taiwan, so I gave it a spin. This is what I got. I bought this candy at a nougat shop that had a pop-up stall at Mitsukoshi. I chose the one with pineapple in it. It's a great snack. I wanted a drink in the evening, so I went to this shop near my hotel. I bought lychee juice. It had crunchy jelly in it and was pretty good. Whenever I enter a convenience store in Taipei, I notice a strong smell like star anise. It seems to be the smell of these boiled eggs. I bought some at 7-Eleven. When I actually tried it, the taste was just average. That's all for day 3. It's the morning of the 4th day. I don't usually eat breakfast, but since I'm in Taipei, I thought I'd try something. A short walk from the hotel, I found a shop with a small queue of people. It seemed to sell rice balls. I bought one with an egg in it. I had it back at the hotel. It was so good. There were quite a few different brown things in it. I went to a cafe to have coffee. I had a pour-over coffee made with single-origin beans. It was great. Coffee in Taipei is a little pricey, but the portions are generous. I remember them playing songs with male vocalists like The Police and Richard Marx inside the cafe. Let's go out again today. First we head to Jishin Station. We took the Tamsui Shinyi line from Taipei Station. Let's walk a little. A flashy gate comes into view. This is the entrance to Jishanyan Huiji Temple. Here is the location on the map. Shishanyan Huiji Temple is a Taoist temple built during the Qing dynasty. The decorations on the roof are amazing, aren't they? Various gods are enshrined here, but I don't really understand them. The area around this temple seems to be Jishan Park. Let's take a walk here as well. To the west, there is a dead end like this, with an explanation about the topography of Taiwan Island and Jishan. It seems that Taiwan Islands appeared about 6 million years ago, and people were living in Jishan 6,500 years ago. There are some small historical sites within the park, such as this building and a stone monument to the Jinzayan incident. It seems there was a shrine here during the Japanese colonial period, but it is no longer there. I thought that the shrine might remain because Taiwan has the impression of being pro-Japanese. But it seems that evidence of colonial rule was actually destroyed. I went back to the station and had lunch. It was similar to Odin. It was covered in a sweet miso sauce and had a chewy texture. The black part was probably solidified pig's blood. The taste was just average. I returned to Shilin Station and had coffee. It was a small local coffee shop. They had some Alishan beans, so I tried them. It didn't have a particularly distinctive flavor, but it was good. While walking, I had a dragon fruit tapioca milk tea. The taste was average. By the way, if you drink such a drink on the street, you can throw away the cup as there are many trash cans around the city. I moved to Jiantan Station. There seems to be a shrine nearby, so I thought I'd go and check it out. It looks like you enter from here. Apparently you can often see bees, wild dogs, and poisonous snakes, so let's go and check it out. It feels like a forest. There's no one there. There was a shrine. I'd climbed the stairs, and there were some Komijinu statues. The other one seems to have been lost. The shrine is quite small. It looks like a miniature. I took the Tamsui Shinyi Line one stop to Yuanshan Station. After a short walk, I arrived at the Confucius Temple in Taipei City. 2 statues of Confucius were there to welcome me. Inside, there were even more statues of Confucius. Here is the location on the map. There is a magnificent gate. The decorations and carvings look like this. In this room, you can learn about Confucius. There is also a video. This is the main hall located in the center. There's a garden next to the Confucius Temple. It's densely packed with sculptures. Further north is the Longdong Bayon Temple. That evening, I went to Ningxia Night Market. It was quite lively. There were even pigs. Here is the location on the map. The first thing I tried was a sausage roll. It's hard to see very well though. I ate it normally. Next was something that looked a little similar, but was ice cream and peanut rolled up. I was asked if I wanted cilantro, so I did. It was just fine. Finally, this isn't a food stall, but a shop facing the building, but I tried a pineapple bun. I had the one with butter in between, and it was really good. I did some shopping at Family Mart on my way back from the night market. Oolong tea with guava and lemon. It has 38% juice. It was good. This is dried guava, and the taste is average. I also bought some eggs, but they tasted the same as the ones at 7-Eleven. End of day 4. Day 5 in Taipei. I went to a chain coffee shop that's common in Taipei City. They serve pour-over coffee using single-origin beans. It's cheaper than other places. The coffee is a little hot, but the taste is sweet and pleasant. I came to Longshan Temple. Today is the first day of a 3-day weekend. The weather is nice, and there are lots of worshippers. Here is the location on the map. There are large, colorful statues on display. This is the main hall. This is a temple, not a shrine or palace, so it seems that bodhisattvas and other deities are enshrined there. The decorations are very impressive. Taoist gods are enshrined in the rear hall. I bought this item. It's a charm for Emperor Wenchang. We traveled by bus and arrived at Huashan 1914. Like the Songshan Cultural and Creative Park, it appears to be a facility renovated from a factory. The location is east of Taipei Station. Japanese culture seems to be popular here. This looks like a local piece. I had lunch at the cafe in the facility. It was a plate with braised pork and other dishes. It was pretty tasty. This time we went to the 228 Peace Park again. When we arrived, there was a lot of excitement going on. However, the weather was nice and everyone was enjoying themselves peacefully. Then at 2:30 p.m. the 228 Memorial Hall reopened. It used to cost money to enter, but now it's free. It's really bustling. It's a little late, but it's coffee time. There was so much on the menu that I had a hard time figuring out what to order, but I ended up ordering something called ice drip. It was measured in bottles, so I wondered what that meant, but it really was served in a bottle. This is the first time I've seen this style. I don't drink alcohol, so I don't know, but it seems similar to how whiskey or brandy is served. The taste was very good, but the portion was small. When I went to the Zhongshan area, I got hungry, so I had dinner at the food court and a shopping building. The restaurant specializes in pork cutlet, but the pork cutlet itself wasn't that great. This is a traditional sweet I bought at a shop in Taipei Station. The shop assistant told me twice that this was taro, so I bought it too. It had a traditional taste and was good. That night, I went to Rahu Street Tourist Night Market. It's located around here. There's Songshan Suhui Temple right in front of the entrance to the night market, so I decided to go in. The roof is quite flashy. It was also very lively inside. The night market was also incredibly crowded. The aisles were narrow, so it was difficult to move forward. I had eaten dinner before coming here, so I didn't buy anything. Day 5 is over. It's the morning of the 6th day. I saw a strange bird in the park, so it was a good start, but today is my last day, so I'm heading home. But first, I need a coffee. Finally, it's Starbucks' turn. Since I was there, I ordered in a Sorolla Cherry Lemonade Cold Brew, a drink that isn't available in Japan. It has a great taste, somewhere between coffee and Aid. But it's still got a decent amount of caffeine, so it's fine. In fact, isn't it a bit too much? A grande size has 323 milligrams, but the label says, you should keep your daily caffeine intake below 300 milligrams. Comparing a large size of Starbucks cold brew in Japan and the US, the Taiwanese one has 290 milligrams. The Japanese one has 144 milligrams. And the US one has 155 milligrams. So Taiwanese has the most caffeine, after all. I took the train from Taipei Station to Taoyuan Airport. This was my last lunch in Taipei. It was in the food court at the airport. There were 3 types of meat, including duck. It was good. Let's have our last coffee in Taipei. We had specialty coffee at this cafe. It's amazing that there's a place like this in the airport. We relaxed with a nice light roast coffee. After passing through immigration, I headed to the boarding area. It was an incredibly long straight line. This marks the end of my Taipei trip. Thank you for watching.